We offer customized, flexible nutritional counseling designed specifically for you. We work with diverse clientele of all different ages, different needs, and goals. Whether you are looking for fat loss, muscle gain, body composition shifts, improved health, performance, and endurance, we're here to help.
All right, Anabolic Academy with Uncle John and Big Danny Broadhurst. We got a few questions for you. We got a bunch of really good questions for you that we're going to answer, and we're going to keep it moving. So, first, I want to know how you're feeling. When are you getting the screws out of your ankle?
April 21st.
Oh,
yeah,
that's,
but
are you able to walk? Are you able to go to the gym anyway? A little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be walking. Yeah, I'm walking now. We were out all day on Saturday, and it's a little painful. I think it'll be better when the screws are gone.
No,
but
good,
basically, he said when the screws get removed, all I'm doing is waiting for the incision to heal.
Okay. So, how long will that take?
Just a month.
Oh, great. Okay.
So I'll be like basically walking like I am now.
Oh, good.
Screws won't be in there, but it's cold here, so it aches a little bit. So
yeah, and then you have you devised a plan about competing again after that?
Yeah, I'm going to do Mexico in the following June, not this June, but.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear, man. I wanted to hear that you were going to come back with a vengeance.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So let's get back to the first question. And this one, my friend actually asked me this. My friend Anthony asked me this last week, and of course I skipped it because I'm an idiot. He was squatting, and now he has severe lower back pain. I don't, he's still able to work and whatnot, but it really bothers him when he works out. What does somebody do to avoid that or work out with an injury, or is he doing something wrong? Can he replace it with his squat with something else? What do you recommend?
Yeah, so I've had problems with my lower back locking up. Definitely when I take certain things like Dianabol and even when I don't, just but something that really surprisingly helped was taking a lot of magnesium.
Really?
Yeah, chelated magnesium. That sort of loosens the muscles. So it could be like an issue of like the muscle getting tight or getting kind of like a back pump, and then that prevents you from, like, I couldn't even walk after training legs sometimes.
What about, like, sometimes I get lower back pain, like the next day or a couple of days after doing heavy squatting or heavy deadlift. Is that the same or a little?
No, so that might be like maybe you're going a little bit too heavy.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, because I would get that when I deadlifted a little too heavy, like my form's kind of breaking down a little bit,
right?
Like that, for sure. But yeah, so that would be a little bit different. But the magnesium I would try if it's like, it just depends if it's an issue of, like you said, the next day, or if it's like actually like while you're training your back starts locking up, and if it's that, I mean, I would roll out the quads. Regardless, I would probably roll out the quads, see if you can get a massage.
Okay.
But get a lacrosse ball and, roll out like on the side of your quads, kind of above your IT band, the muscle above your IT band.
Okay.
And then stretch your quads out, quads and hamstrings. Because my guess is it's pulling basically your rec fem. If it's tight, it could pull you forward, and then that's going to put a lot of stress on your lower back.
Okay. Yeah, because what was funny is I always squatted and I always tried. We had spoke about this last time, the Olympic squat versus the.
Yep.
And I always tried to squat an Olympic squat, but the form, I could never get the form right. And then until I was in my early 30s, I actually started squatting like a powerlifter, where it was my legs was wide apart and I would go deep in the pocket. And that, I feel like if I would have done that from the beginning, I would have avoided so much more lower back pain. Yeah. Because I just felt right as soon as I started doing it properly. It felt natural. It felt right. It was like, okay. And then the weight started going up. I mean, just to you guys, it's nothing. But for me, at 200 pounds, the best I ever squatted was 540 or 545 or something like that.
That's great.
So yeah, that was the best one.
Yeah, it depends on the person too, and the length of their legs versus their torso, the lever length, right? So, some people can. It's really squatting. It's an individual thing, and I don't think everybody has to squat. You know, contrary to what some people say. If for some people it's not a great exercise. I mean,
Yeah.
Dwayne Yates didn't squat. He would Smith machine squat, but
Yeah, right. No,
yeah,
you happen to be right, and I think that goes for almost every movement. If a particular movement's not helping, or it does more damage than good, even if you have the form proper or whatever the case may be, then just don't do it. Like my flat bench press
yeah, me too.
was always crap. It was always garbage. It was just trash. And then I would just revert to either hammer strength or dumbbells, and it's night and day. Completely night and day.
Yeah, I don't do flat either.
All right. So here's the next question. This person wants to know what is our thoughts on a test only cycle? Well, I mean, is he talking about TRT or 1,000 milligrams of test a week?
Yeah, I think a lot of people now, like what you read on the forums and stuff, and what people ask me is they start with like 500 milligrams of test. That's their
Mm-hmm.
first cycle.
Oh, okay.
Um, that's what you see recommended. I don't know. A lot of recommendations are don't start with other steroids. Just start with test only, and then take a PCT, and then add other steroids in. Um,
Okay. Well, my recommendation was always test with an anabolic like a Deca or an EQ or so on and so forth. Because for some reason I don't know why, you probably know more than me, but when you put two anabolic steroids together, it always worked better. You always got better results. And if you're gonna start off injection, then you might as well, you know, and seriously, I mean, it's like so if you're doing five, if you do 750 milligrams of test and you do 500 milligrams of Deca a week, I
yeah,
mean that's a fine cycle. I mean it's more than enough. Do you know?
yeah. For a first cycle, I wouldn't even. Honestly, if it were me and they were asking me, test only cycle. Usually they say 500 milligrams of test. I
Mm,
would prefer the person do, you know, 300 tests and 200 Deca. you
mm,
know because like you said, I think they work synergistically. you
okay.
know and I honestly, I think you would get better results from that, but that's just my opinion. A
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people would disagree, and they swear by the 500 test first cycle kind of thing.
Um, I'm actually getting good results right now, but this was by design because I'm getting older. I wanted to phase into just test and GH, and that's where I am now. And I'm getting great results. I was like, all right, I'm not doing any more, orals. I don't want to do any more tran or anything like this. I'm too old for this crap. I mean, I'm going to be 47. So I'm like, I really want to get to test, growth, done.
Yeah,
That's it. What's your response to that?
yeah, that's probably great choice. I mean, just keep an
Okay.
eye on blood sugar, but yeah, definitely.
All
I
right.
think that's your healthiest bet. Keep it nice and minimal, and the growth will help you with the fat loss, and tests will help keep you, young.
Yeah, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I saw a
Uh,
video. Dave was talking about how they're going to ban the TRT clinics. You see that?
yeah, actually, they're not banning the TRT clinic. There's more to it than that.
Yeah,
People are
telehealth ones. Telehealth. Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's you could still go to the doctor and get your TRT. It's not going to be anything like that. But I didn't uh Ron Harris had on somebody that explained thoroughly in depth what is actually happening. And I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, so I don't want to pass judgment. But according to what he had this lawyer on that knows about the law that's being passed,
Yeah.
and apparently people are jumping to conclusions. You're not going to be able not to get TRT. You'll be able to get your TRT,
Yeah.
except
I
that
think it's just the telehealth, like
yeah,
via Zoom. They're not allowing you to get prescribed via Zoom.
what really wouldn't fucking affect us anyway, because
Right. Of course. Yeah.
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 All right. So here's another question. In
Plus,
we've answered.
I could
Yeah.
get it
Right.
from the doctor if I want. I have one nut. I'd cancel
Okay.
it. I'd go right in. Like, they'll give it to me in a second.
Yeah. Right. I forgot about that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Bro split versus push pull legs. We actually, for people who don't know, I won't go into detail, but we tried doing a MD Muscle Talk with Jose Raymond. And for reasons that will not be revealed, it was not aired. But this question came up, and Jose Raymond absolutely hates push-pull legs.
Yeah,
He
he
said
does.
he said that it's not a bodybuilder's workout, and that is he goes, people do it because it's easy, and he had all these negative things to say about it. But we have seen guys like Jordan Peters really, really build a tremendous physique with it. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the literature on the training is the training 3 days a week doing full body is like the best for beginners. Like they have tons of studies on it.
Right.
And that's so I think, the more advanced you get in bodybuilding, I would say the more working towards a bro split.
Yeah.
Probably because your central nervous system isn't going to be able to handle the abuse from deadlifting and squatting,
Right.
every
Right.
day.
Right.
Like deadlift one day, squat the next, and
Yeah.
bench the
There you go.
next. It's gonna be too much for your central nervous system. So yeah, I think the more advanced that you are, the more you have to transition to the bro split, honestly. But
Yeah, I fully agree. And actually, the push pull leg thing is you're 100% right. Anybody who tells me they want to start working out, that's what I tell them, because it's only 3 days a week. I'm like, do push pull legs, and then I explain to them what it is. I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and so on and so forth.
totally.
And then they never fucking do it anyway, because how many, people ask me all the time. I can't tell you how many people ask me for diets, workouts, and they don't even, I give it to them, especially if it's like a friend or whatever,
Yeah.
and they don't even, not even try to do it. It just
Yeah.
goes in, I had one guy ask me 3 different times for 3 different diets, and he never tried any of them.
Yeah, I've been in the same situation.
Yeah. What about this? Do you ever be in this situation? This is great. You're like around like family or friends that aren't into working out, but you're there and they know you're really into it, right? And they start talking about a particular diet or a particular workout but they don't ask you. They don't say, hey, Danny, you're fucking Milos 2.0. What do you think?
Yeah.
That happens to me more than I get asked. Most people will not. I could be at a family dinner and they'll all the women will be talking about the diet they're going on to lose weight, and I'll be sitting right there and they will not ask me.
Totally. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
why do you think that is? You think I think 2 reasons. I think they're just talking to hear themselves talk, and then the other reason I think is they don't really want to hear the truth.
They don't want to hear the truth. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah. Or they think maybe like if you're a guy, it doesn't apply because it's like the girl, they think, oh, that's going to be like a muscle building diet or something, and they're going to get huge. The typical
yeah.
thing. They don't realize that the girls that get huge are the ones that take.
Yeah, well, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. So probably that, but yeah, I don't want to hear the answer.
Yeah, they just don't want. I mean, I had a family member that actually had this was great. That actually had the band, lap band,
Yeah.
and lost a lot of weight. Maybe about 100 pounds, and then she, kind of leveled off, and she never really came to me for help. She here and there at the beginning, but never really. And then she stopped losing weight. And I remember we were at a dinner and she was eating like chocolate cake or something like that. And then they were asking her, everybody was asking her how she's doing with, losing all the weight and everything. And she goes, yeah, I kind of hit like a plateau. I'm not losing any more weight. I'm going to have to talk to the doctor about that. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm sitting right there. And I'm like, you don't have to talk to the doctor about that.
Yeah. Maybe stop eating the chocolate cake.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, the next question. This is actually a really good question. Pause reps versus drop sets. Now, I was always a big fan of drop sets, but I don't know. What do you think? I think both. Really, you could probably incorporate both into your workout.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they're both just intensity techniques,
Right.
you know. And I would use both of them towards the end of my workout because, you don't want to start off, you start off, you do your whatever, say you're doing chest, you're going to do incline bench. All of a sudden you do, a bunch of drop sets. You're definitely not going to be strong for the rest of your workout. So
Right. Right. Right.
I
Right.
would keep them towards the end of the workout, or if you like plateau on a certain exercise, especially the rest pause, the pause reps,
Mm-hmm.
like 1 rep, 10 seconds, 1 rep, 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Those can really help with strength. So
Okay. Okay.
if you plateau too. But yeah, I agree. I think both of them for sure have their place.
Funny story about how I actually started doing drop sets. When I first started doing drop sets, I didn't even realize that it was a drop set. What I would actually do, what would happen is I would actually go too heavy and I would only get maybe 5 or 6 reps out of my heaviest set. And I would not feel like I got enough out of that set. So I would immediately just do a drop set, but I did not realize that I was doing a drop set, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah,
then I didn't get enough out of that set. I got to do a drop set, that kind
yeah.
of thing.
So you just keep going. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a good way to do it, honestly. If yeah, you don't get what you expected, throw it in. I mean,
yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I've always done a lot of drop sets with my shoulders because I never had really, really wide shoulders and I never really will. So in order to get like a real good pump or burn or a good, anytime I did side laterals, I would do, 5, 6 sets of
yeah.
3 or 4 different drop sets. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
love that. Up and down
Yeah.
the rack too.
Right. Exactly. 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 Yeah.
That's a
Right. Right.
Milos.
Is it really?
Yeah, yeah. That's where I first saw that. Yeah, up and down the rack. Start with 5 and go up to 30 in 5 pound increments and then back down. Do 10 reps each.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's similar to what I do, but I got to try that
Yeah, yeah.
specifically. All right. Next one. Lower volume when your diet starts. And I'm assuming when it means diet, I'm assuming it means pre-contest, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So good, you could take that one.
Yeah, so no, I definitely would try to keep the volume and the weight and all that as high as you can, like as not as high as you can, but as close to what you're used to as you can for as long as you can.
Mm,
Because start dieting and you start like some people think, oh, I'll lift lighter weights and I'll do more reps and that'll make me cut.
hmm.
That just makes you lose muscle. And,
Yeah,
and it's
no.
the perfect recipe for that because you're dieting, so you're not getting enough calories. So your body wants to get rid of. I've gone over this before. For every pound of muscle, you burn 69 calories a day. For every
Mhm.
pound of fat, you burn 9. So your body doesn't want to get rid of the fat; it wants to get rid of the muscle.
Mm,
So because that's what's taking up more energy. So it wants to get rid of that. So you definitely don't want to do anything like start changing your exercise regimen because that's the first thing it's going to want to eliminate. And if you start lowering things, I wouldn't start doing that till the end, till
I
you
see.
really.
All right, very cool, man. Very cool. All right, last question. So apparently, Big Lenny was rushed to the hospital. Um, Somebody asked me this. I didn't know what happened. I had to go and look for myself. But he was rushed to the hospital. He passed out several times at his mom's house or something like that. And his mom called the 911. They rushed him to the hospital. And I don't know the entirety of the detail, but they were saying about his heart rhythm was making him go in to black out. It was going from low to high or high to low or something to that effect. You would definitely know more about this than I would.
No, I think what he was saying is they gave him diuretics and that caused him to go into a arrhythmia, like a
Oh, okay.
abnormal heart rhythm. I think that's what he was saying. And I mean, medicine now is like really good, but doctors make mistakes, and you can't hold them liable for everything. I mean, I remember when I got the testicular cancer, they told me that I had an infection and I
Mm,
went a month. They were like, no, you're fine. You don't need a scan. You're good. You don't have cancer.
mm.
Totally fine. You don't need to get blood work.
Wow, really?
I went a month and it doubled in size. And then I
Jesus.
went back And I told my oncologist who treated my mom or whatever, treated a bunch of my family, my grandmother, and he said that happens all the time.
Yeah, a
So,
misdiagnosis. Yeah,
yeah, it's you're going to the ER, I mean,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what he did.
But there was a famous joke from George Carlin. I don't know if you ever saw that joke. He
No,
said the joke was there is somebody that has graduated from medical school with a C,
yeah,
and the and the scary part is somebody has an appointment with him tomorrow.
right. Yeah. I mean, there's no way. I mean, I don't know what but I like the California bar is like notoriously difficult, right? But I don't think the doctors have an exam like that to become a doctor, do they?
I know they don't have a bar, but they have, what's it called? They don't have a bar exam, but they have what do they call it?
Residency. They have to do
They have
residency.
to do a residency and
Yeah.
then a boards. Don't they have board?
Yeah, they do. They do have a medical board. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, no.
But the question was, were the doctors at
Were they
fault giving him
responsible?
diuretics? Yeah. And they gave him two. They gave him Lasix and
Probably a potassium sparing diuretic would be my guess.
yeah, I think it was, I forgot exactly what it
Aldactone,
was.
probably.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Lasix and Aldactone. You might be right.
Yeah, that's what they would give. Yeah.
Now, was that a mistake? I don't know because I don't know the whole. Well, I'm not a doctor,
No,
but
I think he already had heart issues, so I think
Mhm.
that's why he's saying that it's a mistake. But I mean, I don't know. I think you know, uh, Big Lenny is not the healthiest guy. He's done a lot of crazy stuff,
Right.
does a lot of crazy stuff, takes a lot of different stuff that like Phenibut and all kinds of stimulants and GHB and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
he's into a lot of different stuff. So, he seems like a great guy. I love his videos. I think he's hilarious, but you
He is
know,
funny. Yeah.
in the first place, I don't think he's the healthiest guy, and I think admittedly so. So I don't know really if the doctors are necessarily at fault. I think, you know, at a certain point, um, you either have to change your lifestyle or accept your fate.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I think he did. I think he lost a bunch of weight. Didn't he lose like 70 pounds or something like that?
Yeah, he did. He did,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that was necessarily by choice.
Ah, okay, okay.
But I think
Well,
he might have toned down his gear regimen or something. But
yeah. Well, hopefully, he'll be better and he'll be fine. He'll be back on making funny videos again.
yeah,
But that's the last thing. I mean, especially people I don't know. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I don't want to see anybody really, get hurt or end up in the hospital. I mean, we've all been there, right? And it is a terrible feeling when you get rushed. Well, not we haven't all been there, but it is a terrible feeling when you get rushed to the hospital and you don't know exactly what's going on.
yep.
And then especially if you have responsibilities like you're married and you have your children or it's like, wait a minute, I can't get sick. I got too many fucking people to take care of. I got too many things to take care of.
Yep.
And it is a very, very scary feeling because it happened to me over the holidays where they thought I was having a stroke and they rushed me from work right to the hospital. And
You
I
got
remember
COVID, right?
I had COVID, but the COVID, it turned out to be from COVID. It turned into,
Long COVID, right? You said
it was,
pneumonia,
what was it? No,
walking pneumonia.
vertigo.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. And so when I gave them the symptoms, the first thing they did was say, all right, we have to, they thought I was having a stroke.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that you don't realize this. This is part of being a man. That when that happens, you always, you always think if you are a responsible man, you're always thinking when that happens, you always think about how am I going to deal with it? But when it actually happens,
You're not yourself. You don't think about yourself. Totally.
yeah, I wasn't thinking about myself at all. I was thinking
No,
about
totally.
I was thinking about my wife and my mother the whole time. And I remember actually grabbing the doctor's arm and I said to her, I was like, you have to help me.
Yeah.
Like I can't be having a stroke. Like
And you're fine. Yeah.
yeah.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And then like literally like, when they realize when they see them anymore.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
because they're like, oh, you're not dying. You're fine.
Yeah.
Then for some reason, it took me 3 hours to get out of the hospital, and they found out it was vertigo.
Yeah.
Anyway, one last thing. I actually did my first hardcore gym rating episode.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't air it yet. I got to put it together. I took a lot of footage, and the first gym I went to was Signature Fitness in New Jersey, because that's a gym I go to, because that's the easiest one to do, because it's a gym I go to. And I think it'd actually be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool, and I'm going to be rating. And I actually interviewed a couple of people that work there and a couple of people that work out there, and asked them what they thought of the gym and so on and so forth. Yeah. Took a little bit of footage of me working out, the actual gym. I show because Sean Clarita goes to that gym, so they have this huge painting of him on the wall in the leg area. That's cool. And then he signed it, 212 Mr. Olympia. Show that, I pretty much showed everything. And then I'm gonna rate it. I'll tell you one thing though. The one thing they're getting a 1 star on is the membership fee. Wow. Really? It's a good thing I joined 2 years ago, because dude, they want. Yeah. You ready for this? This blew me away. They want $100 down, $75 a month. And that doesn't include
one gym, yeah.
That doesn't include tanning. It doesn't include the powerlifting. That doesn't include the CrossFit. That doesn't include personal training.
The CrossFit gyms are like $300 a month, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
And
because they have all super profitable.
Yeah, like I don't understand why it would be so. Why is that so expensive? I mean, they don't.
Closer to one-on-one, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, no, that's crazy. But
and I'm like,
I feel for them, man, because these big corporate gyms, I mean, it's hard to compete with $40 a month, and they could just lose money month after month, and
yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, there's no question about it. But as a consumer, $75 a month, and that's the only gym you got, one gym. I'm like, that's a lot of money, dude.
It is for sure.
A lot of money. And you're in Belleville, New Jersey. You're not in Midtown Manhattan, Anyway, but it should be cool when I put it all together. It should be pretty cool. All right, Danny, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you coming on again. Of course, always much love and much respect to you, because you're like my partner in Anabolic Academy now.
Absolutely.
Thanks, all right, brother. Listen, we'll talk soon.
Thank you. All right, brother.
You got it. Later.